Stay in the know and make your voice heard on different projects happening in your neighborhood and throughout Hillsborough County by visiting Hillsborough County's Engagement Hub, the online home for outreach and listening efforts. From parks and recreation projects to roadway improvement plans, your input plays an important role in shaping the future of Hillsborough County. So make your voice heard by visiting hcflgov.net/hcengage.
It's very important to prepare before a storm gets here. That's not the time to start making a plan. Right now is the time to know what your risk is, what your plans are for your family, how to stay informed, and how to get involved and volunteer so that you can help your community before the storm gets here. Take preparedness seriously, as in these past couple years, we never know how a disaster will evolve. If you wait till the last minute, that's when everybody is in there wanting to get those last little bit of supplies. Take your time and making sure that you have all the exact items that you need to put in your emergency kit. That should be able to support you for up to at least 7 days. It's important to know your evacuation zone. If we get into a situation where a decision has to be made that you're in danger from the surge coming in that's created by a storm event, that you know when your zone is called that it's time for you to go. Preparedness, preparedness, preparedness. You never know what the hazard is going to be, what the event is going to be, but if you take those basic steps that we talked about, it can apply to any hazard that impacts Hillsborough County, and your family will stay safe.
Hey, would you do me a favor? Grab your phone or smart device and open up that camera. Then point it right here at the QR code. Do you have it? I'll wait a second. When you see the link pop up on your screen, give it a tap. You ready? Boom! Welcome to the Hillsborough County official YouTube channel. We've got all sorts of videos here, all about what makes our community such an awesome place. From local events and community highlights to what's in the perfect Cuban sandwich. We've got it all. We're always adding new things, so while you're here, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll never miss a new video. Here's that QR code again, just in case you missed it. Go ahead and check it out. Ooh. This must have fallen out of that video. This really is the perfect Cuban sandwich.
Good evening and welcome to the August 17, 2023 Board of County Commissioners Comprehensive Plan Amendment public hearing. The Board of County Commissioners will consider the adoption of a future land use map amendment to the comprehensive plan this evening. Before I pass things over to the Planning Commission, I do want to read into the record from Commissioner Owen. I will be unable to attend the Board of County Commissioners public hearing tonight, August 17, 2023, due to sickness. Please read the reason for my absence into the record. So I'll hand this to the clerk, and with that, I'll pass it over to the Planning Commission.
Thank you, Commissioner, and good evening to you all. Again, David Hay, Planning Commission staff. Tonight, we only have one item for your review. That one item is a small-scale map amendment. It's HC CPA 23-06, and Mr. Wally Gallart will be presenting this evening.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Wally Glart with Planning Commission staff, presenting on HCCPA 2306, 5135 Madison Avenue. The nature of this request is privately initiated. It is a small-scale amendment. The site is approximately 39.16 acres in size, and the applicant is proposing to go from light industrial to heavy industrial. The subject site is situated within the urban service area. It is located in the southern portion of unincorporated Hillsborough County and within the limits of the Greater Palm River Community Plan. The subject site is located in the coastal high hazard area as well. The subject site is south of Madison Avenue, east of US 41, north of West Bloomingdale Avenue, and west of CSX railroad tracks. Existing uses within the site include vacant, light commercial, and heavy industrial. The surrounding area to the north is heavy commercial, and light industrial. To the east is agricultural uses, and to the west and south of the site there are existing light and heavy industrial and vacant uses. The adopted future land use map designation of the subject site is light industrial. It is surrounded by light industrial to the north, east, south, and west, and there's existing heavy industrial future land use category to the further west, and natural preservation to the south and southwest. The comprehensive plan amendment is seeking to change the future land use map designation from light to heavy industrial. Within both light and heavy industrial future land use categories, no residential uses are permitted, and both allow for a potential maximum consideration of 0.75 floor area ratio and 1,279,357 square feet. Based on the information provided above on the slide, the proposed amendment would allow for no density and the same intensity. The proposed change from light to heavy industrial future land use category would allow consideration of processing, storage, and other uses, including outdoor storage. Outdoor storage uses do not count towards a site's floor area ratio. Additionally, this future land use map change would allow for an increase in intensity of uses that have the potential to create adverse impacts to the surrounding area, such as air emissions, noise, dust, fallout, and/or air quality odor. The proposed request is consistent with the following objectives and policies of the comprehensive plan. Objective 1, urban service area. Objective 8, land use categories. And Objective 9, relationship to land development regulations. As well as Objective 26, economic development, industrial and heavy commercial uses, research, corporate, and tourist leisure industries, and as well as the Greater Palm River Community Plan. Planning Commission recommends that HCCPA 2306 be found consistent with the goals, objectives, and policies of the unincorporated Hillsborough County Comprehensive Plan. This concludes my presentation. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Will the applicant please come forward? And each representative can have up to 3 minutes. Good evening.
Thank you, Commissioners. My name is Ron Noble with Buchanan at 401 East Jackson Street. This is an exciting opportunity to be part of potentially the shortest BOCC meeting in history. Like you, I've sat over here till midnight many an evening as a young attorney. I'm going to be quick, Commissioner. You can be sure. So Trademark Metals Recycling is Florida's largest and quite frankly most productive scrap metal recycler. They've grown that business organically, and they're headquartered right here in Tampa. This comp plan amendment is kind of the opposite of what we're seeing now with all our industrial lands, where applicants are coming in and taking our industrial land and turning it into residential and mixed use. This site will be occupied by Trademark's existing operations that are currently located in Ybor City, where we are unfortunately getting pushed out by residential development in Ybor City, which I guess is a good thing for some of the Tampa folks. It's a bad thing for our industrial users such as Trademark. Trademark will also move its corporate headquarters to this location over the course of the next year or two. So there's a nice office building already constructed on this land that's already occupied. This is existing immediately adjacent to our Dover Street facility, which has operated there for many, many years. So we will be able to join those two facilities together for some economy of scale. We held a community meeting with the neighbors down there, had some folks show up that were all in support of this. In fact, you'll see some of those neighbors coming in over the next couple months. They're coming in right behind us to take their light industrial properties for comp plan amendments to heavy industrial. So this whole sector from Madison to 41 South will be following in heavy industrial. We've had staff support all along the way, unanimous approval from the Planning Commission. We would appreciate your approval as well. We have Jeff Powers here, Trademark Metals General Manager for this area, and Cammie Corbett, our land use attorney. If you need any additional information, we're happy to provide it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I think I know the answer to this, but this is a public hearing. Would anyone like to speak to the item? If not, Commissioner Cohen.
Well, I want to borrow from Commissioner Owen for a minute and just say that this is in my district. And I want to welcome you into your new land use category, and I'll move approval.
Commissioner Kemp.
Yes. I just want to say that right tonight, I just do not feel comfort level at this time with this item. We're moving it into heavy industrial, and I'll just say, because this is heavy industrial, and I've read more about the heavy industrial and what it allows, it opens a possibility, and I wasn't sure even, when you got up tonight with Trademark Metals, I wasn't even sure. I know that it's located there, but I also know that there are, other people there and what it exactly was going to be. And it opens a possibility for many toxic and polluting activities in the high coastal area. And I really would have preferred to know more about the plan. And I also was concerned because I understood in terms of this doesn't come back for a rezoning, for instance, like, some of the other things that we've had. So, any conditions, I realize the area it's in, but it's in a light industrial right now, not in the heavy industrial. And I had real concerns about it. And I'm wondering about, this doesn't come back for rezoning or anything like that. So we can look at the uses.
So Commissioner, the state, sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
The stated use for a recyclable metal recovery facility, which I understand they're proposing, is allowed in the current zoning on the site, which is manufacturing. The difference for that particular use between light industrial and heavy industrial is the amount of open storage of materials that could take place. So there is a piece of the project that zones CI, and that gets a little different treatment. But for the bulk of the site, the difference in the uses would be how much open storage could be done. In the manufacturing zoning district, there's also the ability to do heavy manufacturing or light manufacturing, and I understand from what the description was here today, that's not the intent of the applicant to do so, but the difference between heavy and regular manufacturing is the comp plan category. Heavy's allowed in the HI, future land use category, and non-heavy manufacturing is allowed in the light industrial.
I was really concerned when I saw the emissions allowed and not understanding what this is and not looking at it like I was thinking originally about a paired rezoning where you would have more information about it. But also I just wondered, because I also saw with Trademark Metals, that there's a lawsuit. I don't even know if it exists now, if it's been worked out, but it was about with the Tampa Bay Waterkeepers and Suncoast Waterkeepers, which are really very protective and good environmental groups. And they have an outstanding with trademark metals, or I don't know the status of it, but in terms of violations of stormwater regulations that threatened the Tampa Bay estuaries and other places. I'm not sure exactly where, but I'm just concerned too that not knowing the status of that. I wondered if we have any information about that.
Commissioner, I'd be happy to update you on that if it's appropriate for me to answer. Thank you.
Can I find out from staff if they do first?
I can address, I don't have information on the lawsuit, but in terms of stormwater for the project, if it were, if the plan amendment be approved and they submit for a development of the site for recycling facilities, it will be, a stormwater review will be part of the permitting of the site, and a portion of that stormwater review, part of it is volume, but the other part is ensuring that there's appropriate attenuation and treatment of water before it leaves the site.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if that's the only pending thing, and I guess, you know, I'd be okay with hearing from the applicant to hear some update on this.
Thank you, Commissioner. That lawsuit has been resolved. The waterkeeper has been going around filing these lawsuits all across the state against a variety of industries, and the current industry they're going against are the scrap metal industries, and that's fine. They're a good watchkeeper and a good watchdog, holding people accountable. When that investigation occurred, Florida Department of Environmental Protection, who controls our stormwater, and it just issued us a permit, confirmed there were no violations of our stormwater permit. Trademark metals, you will find, and if you look into their history and their compliance history and their proactive environmental record, they are the most proactive scrap metal recycler and environmental compliance oriented that there is in the Southeast United States. We have to be, because we're the largest and we're held accountable for those things. So we have stormwater pollution prevention plan for these facilities. We have best management practices that are implemented across the board. Happy to get you additional information on that. This whole area, when it comes to heavy industrial, it is already occupied by a lot of heavy industrial users. There's currently a solid waste company on this facility that will be relocating to another location. They run their transfer station, their trucks, and their transportation for the large garbage operations that serve that part of the county. Mr. Gormley summed it up exactly the reason why we're here. The light industrial has a limitation on the amount of scrap that can be stored outdoors, and traditionally scrap is always stored outdoors as it comes through the gates before it's further recycled and processed. So this is, in addition to moving our corporate headquarters here, it's a traditional scrap metal recycling facility. It's not an objectionable use. It doesn't have the air emissions and smoke and dust and things that are allowed in heavy industrial, this is the area for those uses, but our use is really pretty benign. It simply comes down to what Mr. Gormley said. It's increasing the ability to use more of the site for outdoor storage, which is mandatory for a scrap operation.
Okay, I appreciate that. I mean, the item was quite long, it's like 200 pages. And there was, even within that, the item we had, there wasn't a lot of information necessarily. And then I know too, it's not held to typically till rezoning. And then this was in, as I understood later in the day, a manufacturing district. And I was concerned about what true uses could be made, what issues were affecting it. And we got, not so long ago, approved an agricultural zoning, which no one understood, included a curtain incinerator, which had quite, as Commissioner Hagan knows, quite intense impacts that no one was familiar with. So I really wanted to do some due diligence and understand exactly. I would love to just be able to say okay, but I really wanted to understand what it was we were doing in terms of when when we were approving this.
And to the extent, you will not see trademark coming back in for a rezoning on this. We are an allowable use, as Mr. Gormley confirmed, under the existing manufacturing zoning. To the extent that someone else was to come in and want to do something more intense on the property, you would then have the property ability to condition that, through a rezoning. But
Is that accurate? I would like to know. So if somebody else came in besides this and wanted to do they have to do a rezoning and get a new approval? Just curious about that point.
So the existing majority of the site is zoned manufacturing. If the plan amendment were approved, there would not need to be a rezoning to do heavy manufacturing in that manufacturing district. If there was some different configuration or other design flexibility that was sought, plan development could do that, but the existing manufacturing zoning does the use in that district to some degree is governed by whether it's heavy or light industrial.
Okay, and so it sounds like we wouldn't have that flexibility. I understand. I just wanted to know that in terms of,
Yeah, I was referring to the
Hold on, Mr.
scenario that
Noble.
would be
We're good.
Thank you.
Commissioner Wostel. Oh, you're good? Okay. I just want to say, Commissioner Cohen, this is not in my district. However, I'm very familiar with Trademark Metals because my wife worked there for 10 years.
oh,
It's been probably 10 years since then, but I don't know if Greg Ulrich is still around, but I've visited their facility. It's a first-class operation, and I don't have any concerns at all on this application. So I just wanted to put that out there, but she hasn't worked there for probably a decade. So with that, we got a motion to approve by Commissioner Cohen, second Commissioner Commissioner Myers. No other comments, please record your vote.
Motion carried 6-0.
All right, thank you. Adam, anything else this evening?
Thank you.
No, sir.
Okay. We're adjourned. Thank you.
Good job.